Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Franchise Empire newsletter, and excited to dive into what we have today. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can break down the different opportunities that we are going to be going over today. So today we're going to cover a low-cost franchise that shows $10 million in sales in booming industry. Now, this is the highest performing franchisee. We're going to cover a Resale, North Carolina with $742,000 of sales in 2023. New franchise owner in Texas and a franchise that did $2.8 million in sales. And that's in the highest territory in gross revenue. So yeah, excited to dive into the newsletter and kind of cover these opportunities with you guys. If you're watching live, if you're watching the replay, type in replay below and let me know if you're watching the replay. Always curious about that. And regardless of whatever platform that you're on, what we would really love and appreciate is if you just hit the like button, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. It helps to show this to more people. And these take a lot of time to put together, actually, behind the scenes. And so it's totally free to you. There's no cost. All we ask is you just hit the like button. Thank you very much. Okay, featured resale. I think we've actually talked about this one or one similar previously. But this resale is with a company called Mr. Appliance, which is a neighborly company. And this was Mr. Appliance was established in 1996. They have 325 franchise units. Keep in mind that, franchisees may own multiple units through the U.S. and Canada. They are the largest residential and commercial appliance repair franchise in the industry. Very interesting. Neighborly, by the way, is just the 800-pound gorilla and leader in the home services space. They own about 20 different brands in the home services space. So they own Mr. Appliance, Mr. Electric, and all sorts of different franchise brands. Huge, 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 huge. We've helped a bunch of clients buy neighborly brands. And by the way, let me put this up here. If you're interested in having a conversation about resales or interested in this specific resale, go to franchiseempire.com/resales, enter your info. You'll be able to set up a call with our team. This is in the Charlotte, Gastonia, and Rock Hill, North Carolina area. This franchise started in July of 2021. The asking price is $550,000. 2023 revenue of $742,000. Ignore that number. That is a typo. There are 3 territories included in this sale, which is pretty cool. Technicians and support staff in place. So this is a turnkey opportunity. And the owners are relocating, so they are motivated to sell. There's funny people will ask, why would anyone ever sell a business that's making money? Well, there's a variety of different reasons. One would be that they're moving. So what's our take on this? Well, Mr. Appliance is a neighborly brand, which I talked about before, and it opens up opportunities for cross-marketing benefits and lead generation from getneighborly.com and different networking opportunities with your different local franchisees. So, in your market, there's going to be franchisees that own all sorts of different brands within Neighborly, and the ability to cross-market to someone who owns a plumbing franchise with Neighborly in your market, and be able to cross market. And some people will buy multiple different brands to be able to capitalize as well, which is interesting. By the way, if you have any questions as we are going through this, let me know. Drop a comment below if you have any questions. So the ideal owner is a people person. And at the end of the day, you'll be running a customer service business that happens to be exceptional at repairing appliances. As a Mr. Appliance owner, you'll need to lead the charge, creating a customer service infrastructure and culture that stands out in your community. This is a high volume logistics type business. And according to the FDD, the average job size is $260. across reported franchise units. So very high volume business in terms of the work that you're putting out there. So that's the resale that we covered for this week. If you are interested in learning more about that particular resale, getting the profit and loss numbers, of course, you would need to sign a confidentiality agreement, and our team can get the process started for you. Go to franchiseempire.com/resales, or if you're just interested to find out, hey, are there any franchise resales available in my area, in my market, then go to that page below, fill out your information, assuming you meet the financial criteria, and you'll be able to set up a free meeting with our team. Okay, we changed this one around. Instead of saying client case study, we will begin celebrating each week just a client of ours that we've helped to become a new franchise owner. And so in this case, Nancy there's a reason why I'm covering this specific one as well. So Nancy's a nurse, and she had created a business doing legal nurse consulting alongside her normal shifts, but was struggling to make that into a full-time income. Troy, her significant other, is in IT, and they wanted to find something that they could both be involved with, but that Nancy could run full-time. And so, she loved the idea of using her medical background while she was interested in senior home care franchises. She did still want to explore some other options first, because now her mindset was like, okay, hey, I got this background and, on medical, let me buy a medical franchise, but let me also make sure that there's nothing else out there. So our team, they went hard to work, put together some options, found out what was available in her area, narrow down on some options based on, financial resources, skill sets, criteria, et cetera. And after going, pretty far down the process with a home improvement franchise that we had introduced to her, simultaneously doing it with a senior care franchise, she wound up getting clear that the senior care was going to be the best fit for her. And she did wind up buying, with the help of our team, a well-known and very proven senior care franchise brand that has some franchisees that do extremely well. And so, part of what attracted them to that brand, and kudos to, our team for the matchmaking and finding the right opportunities, because as an example, in the senior care space, there's a lot of different franchisors, and this specific brand that they bought, even though it's a great brand, it may not fit the type of culture that you're looking for. What's really, really important is to buy a franchise that aligns with the right culture. Some of you may want to be in a more structured, really kind of buttoned down franchise system. Some of you, that might drive you crazy. You want to be in something where it's a little bit more loose and flexible and kind of not as buttoned up, right? So it really just depends. But this specific franchise that they bought, they love the family feel of the leadership team, and then we're drawn to the recurring revenue model of that business. So that is the new franchise owner that we're celebrating. Okay, franchise of the week. So this one, while we're on the topic of senior care, this one is a company called Assisting Hands. And so Assisting Hands was, and by the way, if you want to find out if there's any available territory with this franchise or any specific franchise, go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. So the original location started in 2006 in Idaho. They started offering franchises shortly after. There's no parent company. They have 5 corporate units. They have 170 franchise units, $55,000 franchise fee. The royalty starts at 5% and slides down as your revenue goes up. The national marketing fee is only 0.5%. The investment range is between $94,000 and $176,000. There is a 10-year term. And Assisting Hands grew out of a desire to help provide seniors and others needing non-medical assistance at home with the option that most people prefer, to remain independent, safe, and comfortable in their own homes, right? So pretty obvious. That's what they do, right? Senior care. In some locations, they also provide medical care, but most of their services are, from bathing, grooming, meal prep, housekeeping, transportation, etc. Now let's talk some numbers, the fun stuff, right? Here's what's pretty cool about this brand. In their FDD, they have pages and pages of listing the different uh, areas and locations of franchisees and the gross revenue. So you can see here, you got someone doing $8 million a year in revenue, 2 million, 2.8 million. You got people doing only 223,000. You can see that, some of the folks, it takes some time to get up and running, right? The people that are doing 8 million, they've been open since 2009. But you also have someone that opened in 2021 and they're already doing 2 million, right? But as someone who also opened in 2021 and they're only doing 450,000. Someone who opened in 2019 and they're doing 1.9 million. So there's a good variety here, right? Someone who opened in 2015 and is doing 8.9 million. So there's a big range here. And, part of when I see this, what this shows is, and it's what we talk to everyone wants short-term gratification, right? Instant gratification. I want to start a business today, and a year from now, I want to be making $1 million. Get real. Come on. The reality is, if it was that quick and easy, then the opportunity wouldn't be what it is with being an entrepreneur. So the lesson here that I see is like, hey, you pick the right opportunity, you get in business, you stay the course, and you stay consistent. You wake up 5 to 10 years from now, and holy crap, you built something epic that then has resale value that you can sell, right? And that's the great thing about a business and a franchise specifically. I've seen franchises sell for millions of dollars after people have built them up into assuming that it warrants that sort of sale price. So anyways, there's a ton of numbers here. And you can go see that, of course, if you are getting our emails for newsletters, franchiseempire.com/newsletter. This was sent out on Sunday. So we sent this out on Sunday, December 8th. And so if you're not on here, definitely subscribe, franchiseempire.com/newsletter, so you can get these emails and read it when you get it. And if you are on our email list and you're like, oh, that's weird, I haven't seen them, check your junk mail or your spam and make sure that our emails aren't going there and mark us as safe. All right, so what are some of the benefits for the franchisees? Well, it's scalable. You can get in with a single unit, but you can also run multiple units, meaning geographic, like territories of zip codes or areas, and you can run it out of the same office, right? So unlike a brick and mortar where you would have to have maybe 3 separate locations that could cost $400,000 or $500,000, $600,000 to get up and running, you could run multiple territories within an office, which is pretty epic. You could also choose to be an area representative, which allows you an exclusive right to sell, train, and give support to franchisees in your region, which is pretty cool. Most of your clients will need a caregiver for an extended period of time. This could be weeks to years, allowing you to rely on consistent income every month. You have the ability to add medical services. So some home care franchises only offer non-medical. Assisting Hands gives you the ability to add on medical once you obtain the licensure, so that the medical licensure can take a longer to get than the non-medical. Quick ramp up. You can get open within 3 to 6 months of signing your franchise agreement. And while it may take some time to get a consistent client base, your overhead costs are pretty small, and startup costs are, well, let's stick with the numbers in the FDD, which is, $176,000 or less. So like pretty reasonable. And then demand, guys, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, beginning in 2010 and continuing over the next 20 years, an average of 10,000 people per day will turn 65. And according to your pals at the AARP, 67% of them will need some sort of type of long-term care in the future. And only 5% reside or will reside in nursing homes. So just massive opportunity just in this segment overall. Now, for a lot of you, this specific franchise won't be available in your market because they have 170 franchise units sold. But again, if you want to check, hey, is this available? Go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I will actually drop it below in the chat as well. And we can also check, hey, if that franchise is not available in your area, we could check other concepts as well. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the latest episode of the Franchise Empire Show is about a franchise that does $2.8 million in sales. And so it's a service franchise that has only $200,000 startup cost. We also cover a resale case study and someone who bought a $2 million a year producing resale. So you can watch that on YouTube just by going to the Franchise Empire YouTube channel, which is this bad boy here. And you can go there and you will be able to see. Oh, interesting. It doesn't link to the exact video. But go to the Franchise Empire channel and subscribe. And or any of the podcast platforms. We're actually getting ready to, our podcast used to be called Zero to Profitable Franchise. We are actually getting ready to rebrand back to Zero to Profitable Franchise instead of the Franchise Empire Show. So if you do listen on audio, you'll want to type in Zero to Profitable Franchise. And that's where we're going to be posting the latest episodes, and we're going to delete the old Franchise Empire Show ones, but they're on the other Zero to Profitable Franchise podcast platforms. So, all of these, Spotify, Apple, Google, all that stuff, we're on all of them. So check us out and leave a review while you're there, by the way. With that said, that is all that I have. Let's see what kind of questions we have. What does the FDD reveal about franchisee earnings? We just covered a good example of that. It could cover, it depends on the franchisor, but in that case, they listed all of the different franchise businesses when they opened and what sort of sales that they were producing. So that's pretty helpful. A lot of franchises don't show that level of insight that they did. Do we help with huge brands like McDonald's tropical smoothies? Generally speaking, no. Not like a McDonald's or Burger King or anything like that. And most of those brands don't have much, if any, territory availability at all. And most people don't want to spend $1 million to build out something brand new for one location, is what we experience. Have you ever had any clients who bought restaurants or brick and mortar businesses? Yes. Multiple clients. Food as well as non-food. But we tend to cover mostly service-based. So I guess that could be an opportunity for us going into the next year to diversify what it is that we cover. Anyways, that's it. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last newsletter before the end of the year. Let's see. It's December 11th. And I'm going to be out of the office for a couple weeks. So maybe we'll pre-record some stuff for you guys. Well, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with that one. But regardless, if I don't communicate with you guys before the holidays, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be safe out there. And yeah, thanks for your support and watching. And hopefully you guys get value out of these videos, because that is the intention, to provide value. And no, I'm not. No, I'm not going to do a live stream on Christmas. All right, guys, take care.